Folks, hello and welcome to Gamers Health. I am one of your hosts. I am Rach Tenkar. With me to my left, stage right, is my wife, Rachel.
Hello.
Now you can see a couple of interesting things to point out here. I'm wearing my glasses. And the reason is because I'm working off my laptop, which is a little bit further from my face than usual. So therefore, and we're shaking this damn table. Damn it!
That's my fault. I'm sorry. I
It's
shouldn't have been
okay.
leaning on it.
It's okay.
All right.
I love you anyway, Rach.
The only thing that'll probably shake it from now is just my foot on it.
Oh, all right, we can't.
I'll take it off.
We can't prevent that.
I took it off.
We are not in New York. We are up in the Poconos. So we are in the kitchen of the house. So working from a different mic.
Yeah, as you can see the kitchen calendar.
Right. So we're not working from my normal Verizon Files. We are working from AT&T cellular service.
Hotspot.
Because
Hotspot.
hotspot is where it's at. So why are we in the Poconos? And actually, it's our second time in the Poconos in about 2 weeks. The reason we're in the Poconos is it recharges our batteries. Literally, it recharges our emotional batteries, our mental batteries, to some extent our physical batteries. Getting away from your normal surroundings is often an excellent way to boost or
shift perspective on certain things.
Yeah. So that's kind of the reason why we were up here in the Poconos. That and the fact that it's probably going to be the last weekend where I could walk around. And I came up on Friday wearing shorts. And I was still walking around in a short sleeve shirt today. And now
it's gone down into 50s. So by the time we wake up in the morning, it's going to be 47.
Yeah, it's 55 right now. It hit 77 today.
So freaky.
So it's just one of those, interesting events to match up on. So a few things. I think I mentioned last week when about my watch, and I was like, oh wow, I gotta make sure I have it set to record my walks. Well, Rachel's watch records all of her walks. Mine generally does this to me and decides that I'm not going to do what you ask. I'm not going to give you credit for your walks, or I don't get full credit for them. I should be more accurate. So the goal is to hit like 30 minutes on your watch to close your ring. I can, however, do standalone exercising, and that generally gets recorded. So I have stenosis in my left shoulder. That is from radiation from my treatment for Hodgkin's about 15 years ago. And I've been doing a lot of movements and stretches to get a greater range of movement out of my shoulder. So, which is part of the reason why Rach is going to be putting me through yoga. Now, last week, with the help of our niece Shannon, we picked out an ensemble of clothing.
Well, several options you guys picked out because there's several pairs of yoga pants. And
yes.
Yeah.
Now, I will probably display some.
What we'll have to do is have you try them on.
Well, make sure
that
if it doesn't fit, if the pants don't fit,
if you're gonna put on the pants and you're gonna blow out the thighs, we probably better not to.
we don't want that. Live from New York, Tenkar's bare butt. No, we don't. We don't want to get banned from YouTube by doing anything like that. So this is all supposed to be in fun and show some real yoga. That's going to use a chair so I don't hurt myself.
Yeah, a chair is good, especially if it's difficult for you to come up and down from the floor. And so a lot of people will start to work in the chair, and surprisingly, people are able to really get good stuff from the chair. You're able to work, like, some people do find they work hard at it, and they come out feeling like they did something. So yeah.
I hope to come out of this feeling like I did something. Now, we are probably looking literally 2 weeks from today. That's the current game plan for this. So that gives me 2 weeks for Rach to teach me well enough so I am not embarrassed by my lack of ability. I'll just be embarrassed by the clothes I'm wearing. And that's fine. That's where the fun comes in. Now, I've already warned Rach that I may, of course, fall into character. I'm wearing glasses now. I may get the voice going. I'll complain that my hips are still and I make it over the traffic, and they're complaining, and I'm complaining. Which, by the way, I'm wearing glasses so I can actually see the screen if there are any comments. But I don't. When we're at home, I don't need to. I'm generally close enough that that's not an issue. But I do get that more of that old man crotchety look by wearing the glasses. So I got to remember that I can stay in character. You married me. You weren't forced. You know what you were getting into.
You wore glasses when I met you.
Yes.
You didn't look crotchety then.
Well,
and you don't look crotchety now.
All right. Well, it was 10 years ago, so nearly. So there you go. So now.
Well, 12, I think.
Well, all right.
Nearly
when you
12.
met me 12 years ago,
Yeah.
Marriage, November 5th, we will celebrate 10 years of marriage.
Yay.
So, if anything, we've actually gotten closer, if you can believe that. So, but we were going to do something today, and we're going to do it.
We've been talking about this for a little bit of time now.
Right, and this is only part of it because we also want to do this with wines and with other beers. But somebody in the Discord channel had mentioned I gotta hold it this way, I guess. Yingling Flight, and what's great about Flight, if you're somebody watching your carbs, it's 2.6 carbs, 85 calories. Alcohol is 4.2. And we also have.
And Eric loves Youngling.
I've always
loved it for a long time. It's a Pennsylvania thing.
Yes. We're up in the Pocono, so I figured it was appropriate.
We knew we'd find it here.
Yeah, but I don't. This is one that I am, again, not sure you're going to be able to find the Flight everywhere. But this one you should be able to find.
Where was the gentleman from that was drinking it?
I'm not even sure, but I know he does long haul trucking, so he could have come across it most anywhere.
Oh, sure.
But the other one is Mick Ultra Pure Gold, and
this we've liked for a long time.
Where's the?
I think it came out last year, and we,
we found
tried it last year.
It's organic, and then first off, you're telling me my brewed from a big brewery beer is organic. I'm going to tell you bullshit. But in any case,
you don't think it's true?
Oh no, I do think it's true. I just
they're taking liberties.
Well, but
I thought if you called it organic, it had to have like whatever on an organic farm.
Well, I guess all the wheat and whatever else,
whatever grain.
I guess they don't use rice like Budweiser. So in any case, this is 2.5 carbs and 85 calories. So 10 less calories, 1/10 less of a carb. So I am going to pour. These are, by the way, our wedding favors. So
eat, drink, and be married.
So here's the thing: you're getting a light beer. It means you really don't have to worry about pouring it very, very well. It's not going to make much of a head, and the head you make is not going to stick around. All right, it's got finer bubbles, but it doesn't have an unpleasant smell. It actually smells.
It smells like a lager.
Smells like a lager. And now we will go with they're both 12 ounces, by the way. Don't let the fool you.
We're at 16-ounce glasses.
No, the glasses are 4. I think they're small pints. I think they're 14. But
you're probably right, because that's a 12-ounce. So
yeah, these are 12 ounce. This is retaining a little bit more of the head for a longer time. I am not a beer connoisseur. I do like my beer. However,
What do you think in terms of color? I can't.
I'm going to hold them up.
Tell.
And I think here.
Oh, look at the carbonation in the left one.
Which
that looks really nice.
The Yuengling has a lot more carbonation. And it's actually got a clearer look to it. The other one.
Well, this one is a wheat. I think so.
So they should.
So it would be a little more cloudy, maybe.
All right, so I'm going to try the Mick Ultra first. They both came out of the fridge about 15 minutes ago. Ice cold, temperature set at 36. So you can almost taste the bubbles. That's the Mick Ultra.
Mick Ultra.
The Yuengling is still holding on to a head. I'm very, and again, you don't see the bubbles as much, but you can taste the bubbles.
This is very nice. It goes down easily. Goes down easy. Oh wow! Look at that carbonation. Holy shit!
All right, hold on a second. Before I even make a comment on the first one, you know what? I think that the Mick Ultra has a little more flavor.
Really?
You don't have to agree with me. Tell me what you think.
Hold on for one second.
All right. See, this is science. This is the scientific part of the show, folks. You gotta forgive us.
This has
the Yuengling. It still has the head going, by the way.
A slightly more. I don't know how to describe what's there, but there's a strong.
A little bit more hoppy, maybe, on that one.
Maybe.
The Yuengling may be a bit more hoppy. This is a bit more weedy. A bit more of the grain flavor, I think, on the Mick Ultra. Less hops.
Yeah.
Less hops. Neither one has much in that way of hops.
This one might be slightly more kind of metallic.
That's a good question.
Do you get metallic a little bit?
I don't know about metallic.
Towards the side of your mouth.
It's not. You know what? If you're going to compare it to like a Coors Light, it's nice. It's a nice change.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably go with the
Pure Gold.
Yeah. Pure Gold. Now again, here's part of the issue too. If you want to drink alcohol and you got to watch your carbs, or in my case, you also have to watch your fluid intake. So of course, you're not always having beers when you might have had beers in the past. So we also have low carb wines. We we'll probably cover that maybe next week if we can find pure
to a Lifevines, right?
Yes, we have Lifevine and Pure. These are two.
Did I just blink?
Yeah.
Oh.
the electrical grid up here isn't always the best.
I didn't notice it was all the lights though.
Yeah.
It was just a.
They get more in battery power, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, Lifevine and Pure are two wineries that do low sugar or zero sugar wines. They still have
Lifevines might be organic.
It might be. So they
and
still
Pure might be too.
They still have carbs, but and I'll be honest with you. I mean, I find that when it comes to my blood sugar, red wine generally lowers my blood sugar. It generally suppresses the numbers and brings them down. So if I can have a red wine that isn't adding much in the way of carbs, it's a win-win, unless I'm already starting from a low point. So we're going to do that. And probably leading up to Christmas, I would like to do a review on whiskeys, if you're up for that.
Sure.
Yeah, we watched a couple of YouTube videos on whiskeys. The great thing about hard liquor is...
You mean it could encompass all the whiskey, like bourbon,
rye, Scotch. Yeah, we could,
I'm most scared of Scotch.
I'm most scared of rye, but that's only because I've had rye beers and they've all tasted like shite.
Well, it's a very bitter taste.
Yes.
Like I
But
don't know how it is that like, oh, rye bread is nice every now and again, but then like rye whiskey,
yeah,
it's very.
but we're gonna
But let's try and see what we
we're
got.
gonna try some different ones, and it isn't going to be like a highfalutin tasting. Like the
Now I'm
wine's
looking
not
for
gonna-
these vanilla bourbons. That's
you
gotta
know.
be good.
But the idea is, if you're watching your carbs, hard liquor actually isn't bad for your carbs. For the most part, there are some
Liqueur is a different
liqueurs
story.
have a lot of sugar or
Mhm.
sweetener added to them. Not a good choice. But whiskeys are generally not a bad choice. Actually, most rum is not a bad choice. So we're going to give that a shot. But I said next week will probably be the wines, and then week after that it's going to be me in yoga pants, and then we're going to go to doing a bunch of whiskeys. Zachary, last Sunday at the Carolina Renaissance Festival, I had for the first time honey mead and champagne. I also had a stout, and I like the stout the best. All right. I've only had mead at a Renaissance Festival.
I've never had mead.
I didn't like it, but Rach might like it. Rach likes sweet things, and I had the honey mead, and I did not enjoy it whatsoever. But I can enjoy a stout.
That's what it is, basically fermented honey somehow.
It's a honey wine,
Oh.
but I can enjoy a stout. But generally speaking, it's a stout. It's like I can have one pint and then I'm done.
So that's a nice thing about these beers. They're not heavy.
Right.
I struggle with beers being very filling for me. So
I mean,
go slow with them.
Here's I know when I drink beer, usually somewhere around beer number 4, I've reached the point where it's like, it doesn't taste good anymore. So it's self-limiting, which isn't necessarily bad. But when it comes to wine, I don't have that self-limiting part. So I can go through a bottle if I don't pay attention. So, but wine for my fluid intake is better. It's a better choice, and whiskey would be even a better choice. Zachary, what did Gary Gygax do at the Leaving TSR? Well, Gary, Cyborg Commando was like the first project, which was it 3 Infinities or whatever they called it. Horrible RPG, unplayable. Dangerous Dimensions, which became Dangerous Journeys from Game Designer Workshop, which then promptly got killed via lawsuits in the end. And oh god, Legendary Adventures, which actually wasn't a bad game. It was pretty interesting, and it was picked up by Troll Lord Games, and they put out a starter box for it, which cleared up a lot of the confusion from the. I don't think Gary was great at writing games that were easy to comprehend, but he was good at writing games. So it was rewritten to a starter box, which was very nice. It's going to be hard to find because shortly after the starter box got published, Gary passed and Gail pulled the license. So if you can find Legendary Adventures, it's in the starter box. If you buy the individual books, they are large, there's a lot to read, and they aren't as easy to digest. So what else are we tapping on this week? We're up in the Poconos, so
we've been moving a ton.
Oh my god, we've been moving a ton more.
Like a lot of walks.
Zach, I don't like the IPA tastes like pine. Here's the thing about IPAs.
Which the Yuengling?
No, I'm not sure which one, but there's different IPAs.
I think it means Yuengling.
Well,
Pine, Pennsylvania.
Now there are certain hops that have a very pine-like odor and flavor. We have a local brewery, Finback, that we used to go to, and I don't know, until about 5 years ago. But
Yeah.
they had one that they had a brew that was very piney, overpowering pine essence. If you like pine, it's something that you'd rate like a 9 out of 10.
Hmm.
And if you don't like pine, it was about a 2. And that was being generous. I didn't like pine. So I tried. But generally speaking, for the mass produced beers from the major breweries, you're not going to find anybody using hops that have that kind of a flavor balance, because they want to go for the larger palate. So you're gonna
Oh,
get,
right.
so when it
More
comes to,
crowd pleasing.
right,
Yeah.
it's when you get to, all right, Sam Adams isn't a small brewer, but it isn't like Budweiser, Miller, Coors. It's not that type of a brewer. Um, they might experiment occasionally with some version of a um, when I,
We love the citrusy hops.
well, here's the thing. So when I thought that alcohol was verboten after my congestive heart failure last year, I found hopped tea. And it was like, whoa, this is actually not bad. And they, in these
And we
teas,
did have one tea that had like a piney
yes, we didn't order.
hop, and it
Yeah,
wasn't bad
it wasn't bad, but
at all.
it was a limited edition.
Yeah.
It's a 0 alcohol option, and they use either the regular black tea or green tea or an herbal tea as the base,
Mhm.
and it's carbonated, and then they hop it. So it's in very many ways it is
And it's
similar.
very nice. I think most of the hops generally that they use are pretty much citrusy
Most
types
of the time,
of
because that's kind of what
hops that complement the tea.
right, it complements the tea they're
Mhm.
basing it on. So if you're looking for something that is non-alcohol and no carbs, now here's another issue. Just bring up the non-alcohol. If you get a non-alcoholic beer, one of those near beers that have a 0.5% of alcohol or less,
Mhm.
O'Doul's or Coors NA or Heineken Zero, they've all got about 10 carbs. They are high in carbs because the flavor's got to come from somewhere.
Mhm.
And if the flavor, like what happens with your beers, is that most of those carbs, those sugars are getting converted to alcohol, which isn't a carbohydrate. But in these near beers, that's not happening. But you're still getting a flavor profile from those carbs that haven't been turned into alcohol. So that's why if you're on a low carb or keto diet, non-alcoholic beers are pretty much not a good choice for you. Now, I'm not on keto. I'm on low carbs, not Atkins. I'm just trying to control my carbs. I'm trying to control my blood sugar.
Yeah.
Now, here's something that we can also bring up. The last time we went to the Poconos, which was just under 2 weeks ago, you pack your medications, and I packed my medications up. I forgot to pack my metformin. My metformin is one of the medications I take for my blood sugar, and you're supposed to take it with a meal twice a day. Without going into too many details, I take 9 or 10 different medications daily, and one of these medications was blowing up my gastrointestinal tract. I was having stomach issues
He was getting torn up.
more often than not. So I forgot my metformin. So I was like, all right. And if anything I could forget, I go, metformin is probably the least of my worries, because I'll just have to make sure I eat better and eat stuff that's lower in carbs or has a glycemic index that is going to be carbs that are low processed slowly.
Mhm.
So we did that. And my blood sugar numbers did rise. My average from like 125 went up to about 145. Still not a bad range for a type 2 diabetic, but I wasn't having the stomach issues. I wasn't having to run to the bathroom. I wasn't getting worried before going to an appointment or taking somebody to an appointment that I'd have to take Imodium to make sure I wouldn't have issues along the way.
And the movement has been helpful too. Like,
oh yeah, well,
when we went to the park that day with the dog, we had 2 hot dogs each, and then took the long walk, and
my blood sugar was
it was within the normal range.
Right. So the thing I learned that way. I asked my doc. I saw him last week. Actually, the timing was right, and we're going to try extended release metformin, which supposedly can be easier on the stomach. And I was taking 1,000 milligrams twice a day with meals, and with the extended release, he gave me 500 milligrams. Take 2 pills a day, at twice a day, so I can adjust it. Like if the full dosage is causing me troubles, I can. But you know what? I didn't bring it with me because the new prescription didn't come.
It didn't come in the mail,
and my blood sugar has been pretty good. Actually, Friday night, it was so good it was low and woke us up a couple of times with my my glucose reader. So if I don't need the metformin, that'll be great.
But he wrote that for you with the intention that you would take it, and if you don't take it, you tell him.
Right, which is fine and dandy. If my numbers can stay within the range without taking it, now the extended, I may be the person that the extended helps. Like he said, it's his experience that more often than not, if you're having trouble with the regular metformin, the extended doesn't always help. So we're going to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work and my numbers are still in a decent range, we may just forego it, or we'll find another substitute.
Yeah, he's probably got more arrows in his quiver.
Right, but that's the most common arrow to go to. But because aside from that, I'm taking Jardiance once a day. And the Jardiance allowed me to transition from insulin to no longer needing injectables, which was
a beautiful thing.
Awesome.
We love Jardiance.
I can't.
We're not sponsored, by the way.
We're not,
but hey, if they want to, send us like a voucher for dinner,
No, it's okay. No, we're not. So
it's not like we're.
No, it's not like your old job as a social worker, Rachel. So, and Rachel's talking about sponsorships. We're going to be having sponsorships. We're going to be offering people to do a lot of buy sponsorships for the live streams and for the daily shows that aren't live. It's all going to be stuff to support North Texas or causes that North Texas RPG Con will be supporting. Nothing's going to be going directly to anybody that's involved in the channel, unless you consider Bad Mike to be, because he's part of North Texas.
And our yoga is going to support St. Jude.
Yes. So we're going to be raising money for St. Jude. And we'll have a link up so folks can donate directly. I know in my gaming group, my Monday night group, I think we've got about $350 already pledged. So we are in, again, not my friends will enjoy the embarrassment that I go through, but the idea is I'm willing to put myself through this at 54 to show that what can be done for somebody who has no yoga training, to show what you can do, what you can accomplish, and it isn't intimidating. And I'm going to do it dressed like a modern day fool,
a little outlandish,
but that's okay, because if it gets eyes on, so much the better. If it gets money donated, so much the better. So and our niece Shannon's going to be in charge of the live comments. So she'll be the one making sure, and she'll read us the live comments, because I won't be able to read them because I'll be doing yoga. So God help us. All right, I have no idea which one I'm drinking anymore. I think
that's Yuengling.
I was about to say, I think that one's Yuengling. Oh, so you're gonna give me the?
I thought you were missing it. You liked it better than the Yuengling.
Yeah, you like the Yuengling better. Have the Yuengling.
I mean,
she's like, I didn't actually say I liked it better. All right, Rach.
It's all fine.
It's all fine. You know what?
It's all yummy.
After we do this show, we're gonna have our Smart Food 50, and maybe a little cheese. Because again, low carb does not mean no carb. I find that I can have popcorn within reason, without spiking my blood sugar. Because in this case, I'll be having it with some cheddar cheese cubes, which are pretty much protein and fat, and then the glycemic index on popcorn isn't as high as it could be on other things that are well, let's say like high in carbs, because it's a lot of fibers to it. So you gotta. I did the Atkins diet. Oh my
Me
God.
too. It was great. I lost 60 pounds on that.
I did the Atkins diet well over 20 years ago. I was a cop in the South
And I
Bronx.
stayed in the the first stage where you only have like the 10
Ketosis.
carbs. Oh yeah. For like 6 months. Yeah. And it was significant, but then it was like, as you started to add things back,
it stopped.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. Like when
I'm
I
like,
did it,
oh damn, I have to live like this.
well, I was on patrol in the South Bronx. Now my options,
which is crazy.
my options for food was limited.
Yeah, pizza.
No, so
rice and beans.
So what I would generally eat is I work from 6 to 2, so I would come in at 5:30, and one of the first things I would do is we would hit this one gas station that was relatively clean and did good business, and I would get the Slim Jims and cheese packs, and I would have that would be my early meal. I would have 2 of those with like a sugar-free soda or no sugar Gatorade or whatever it was back then, and then or a diet Snapple, and that would be my first meal. And then when everybody else would be eating around 9:30, 10 o'clock, often what I would get is, and by the way, at the time in the South Bronx, there wasn't much good food in the command that I was in that wasn't fast food. But I could go to a Chinese food and get the horrible Chinese. It was horrible Chinese food. Whether you got beef with broccoli or chicken with broccoli, it was the same gray sauce for both of them. I have no idea what they put in it, but I would get it steamed. So I wasn't even getting it. So I would get steamed chicken and broccoli, no rice. Sometimes, if I was really hungry, I would get a double order.
Okay.
No rice, and that would be my meal. And I think I lost 20 pounds in that first 4 to 6 weeks. But it wasn't sustainable where I was working with.
Yeah, I think that's what killed Atkins for me. Like, I was working like Burnside Avenue, and on Burnside Avenue they have
by the way, Bronx.
In the Bronx they have these really good Spanish restaurants, like Caribbean Spanish restaurants. And so like people would be like, oh, I brought you a relleno de papas, it's these like basically a mashed potato with like meat and sauce inside. It's like a potato ball, and then they fry it up.
Oh, perfectly healthy.
Yeah. So that, and then like the empanadas, and the arroz y gandules, and oh man,
I used to.
It was so good. I just couldn't.
We used to get some a really good beef stew at one of those hole in the wall places, and it was really good. But when you're doing Atkins, you couldn't do it.
The potatoes and the rice. Well, it's a staple.
Yeah, because they would literally they would serve this big huge tray over rice.
Yeah,
and then stew. So it's got potatoes, carrots, your beef, and then you had the gravy, which likely was full of starches also. So you just had limited options to do an Atkins or keto diet. So now, in theory, Rach and I, we're retired. We're at home. I make the meals. Could we actually eat a keto diet and maybe not keep within ketosis, but keep within 20, 25 grams of carbs per day and keep it going?
Yeah.
I don't think that we'd enjoy it. And that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Yes, not like Zach says, none of us can live like Rob Lowe. That's the thing too. You can't. We find options that are not necessarily guilt free, but they have a lot less guilt. Oh man, we forgot the other ordered from Amazon when we were in Walmart. We forgot to find the low carb taco shells.
Do you want to go after breakfast?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't like dealing with Walmart unless I have to.
Okay.
But there are some low carb taco shells, but they're larger than regular taco shells.
Were they Mission?
Mission, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and we can also, next time we go back to Costco, we found those egg ones there.
Right, which I forgot to
refrigerate. But I think we didn't realize it needed
I didn't realize it.
Or we forgot.
Yeah, we forgot. So, but I mean, this is stuff that
because that could be really good for breakfast.
You can feel like you're treating yourself, and you are, right? But you're not ruining your diet. You are keeping your carbs under control. And again, this isn't necessarily a low carb diet. It's a carb control diet, so you don't spike your blood sugar. I'm not worried so much about, I need to be in ketosis. Although I will watch a lot of really good videos, a lot of good video channels that are keto aimed channels, because they put out some really good recipes to, and that'll be awesome. It doesn't mean
they're safer recipes than what we would use. Things like, especially for like Christmas cookies, we started to think about Christmas cookies, like the sugar cookie, that you paint and make pretty designs. When we were in Walmart a couple of weeks ago, and we were looking at stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, we saw a sugar cookie recipe on this one and that one, and there's so many more options now.
I mean, you can find and you can find low carb options.
We found like
in
sugar-free icing.
You can find this stuff in Walmart,
Swerve icing or something.
It blows my mind. Now, if you start watching these keto channels, you're going to start hearing things about, it's a dirty keto, it's clean keto.
Yeah.
Oh, this one.
No.
I'm not worried about dirty or clean keto. I'm just worried about carb control and keeping my carbs within reason. And again, if I don't need to take metformin going forward, and I can, here's something, Rach. I might actually get the exercise bike out later on this week, because I can probably sit on that again.
Yeah. Cool. We can even change the seat.
We can maybe even change the seat to the more comfortable seat,
so that I can put my booty up on there.
But listen, we've been doing.
Although if it's too big, I won't be able to reach the pedals properly. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Trials and tribulations. But listen, that's part of going through this process. Now you hear we're talking about stuff, and we're talking about doing this stuff together. We, whether it's walking the dog, or figuring out the exercise bike, or whether it's baking or it's cooking. Even if I do the majority of the baking and cooking, I'm doing it with Rachel's input, because I want to know what she would eat and what she would enjoy. And we're eating the same food. I'm not making a different set of food for Rach.
Right. That would be absolutely unsustainable.
So,
like one trying to work toward change, and the other person just kind of like, I'm gonna have my Doritos.
Yeah, give me my ring dings. Damn it.
Yeah.
But when you're doing this with somebody else, when you're doing it with a partner, it makes it much more sustainable. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass and say it makes it easy. All right, none of this stuff is easy, but I'm going to say something that I gotta say I'm surprised by. I haven't fallen off that food wagon and really done a horrible binge where you sit down with a bag of Oreo cookies and just go, I'm gonna eat half this thing of Oreo cookies and screw it, right? Or I'm gonna sit down with a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos and a 6-pack of Sam Adams beer, and I'm going to enjoy this football game. Guess what? I can do healthier options, and the healthier options I'm not going to say that they are healthy options. I'm not going to say, Well,
I think that what they do is they help you to have the essence of what it is that you wanted,
right.
but not
Well, we found
feel like I don't know when this is going to happen again. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do this again because I have to do this and I have to be so good. And then you have those times where you totally act out and, drink the 6 beers and, eat the whole bag of the Doritos. And then you feel like shit.
right.
And then it's that same process that keeps happening because you're trying to have yourself not feel like that shit or trying to comfort yourself. And then you stay off.
Well, and here's the thing too. It's like, and we've had this discussion with people, and it's I have a cheat day. My Wednesdays are my cheat day. I don't have a cheat day.
No.
Okay. I mean, now might I have?
Will we have fast food occasionally?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and guess what?
We'll split the fries.
We'll split the fries, and then we'll save the rest of the fries for breakfast the next morning to go along with our omelet, and then we'll split that. Again, these are healthier options.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily the healthiest option, but they keep you from totally falling off the wagon. Zach, you're trying to find the one to do those things. Listen, I've said this before, and I'm going to.
What did Zach say?
He's looking to find the one to do these things.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to try a change in lifestyle, that's what this really is. I'm going to say, like, when I went into this with Rach, and we both went into this, we had no idea what the options were. And we found things like Catalina Crunch, who they make some awesome cereals that are low carb, but they make fake Oreo cookies. Now, they're not cheap, but you can find them.
We found
them in Costco.
Yeah.
We found them in Costco. So these options are out there, but you don't have to necessarily do it on your own. Exactly. If you need to talk to anybody,
right.
you can always leave us a voicemail, and if you need us to call you back, we will call you back. I'm going to put the number up as soon as I can get this damn thing to work.
Yeah.
Here it is. The voicemail is 347-509-5168. Or you can email. If email is more your style, Tenkars.
No, in terms of
tenkars.tavern@gmail.com and email. We will support you by listening to you and talking with you, and at the very least being somebody to not leave you alone on this journey. That's the hardest part, I think.
Right. We may not be the one,
right? But
we can be someone.
Someone. So you're not alone on this journey. That's the reason why we do this.
Yeah. This way, like, it's a lot of times we in life say, no, I don't think I should be doing this or that. We deny ourselves certain things that are really good for us until
the perfect situation.
Some condition that has to change, and but you deserve this now. You deserve to take care of yourself. Right. And that's energy and people and connection.
This channel, this idea, or this actual weekly or the podcast vidcast came to me when I was in the hospital last May with congestive heart failure, and I was like, you know what, I'm here in large part because treatment for cancer and the side effects of that, but also because I had uncontrolled type 2 diabetes because I was eating like shit and figured it's okay. Mm-hmm. And what are the repercussions? Well, the repercussions were it kind of hastened my heart's issues to the point where I got hospitalized.
Yeah.
So if you'd asked me last May, would I be able to sustain, it's not a diet, would I be able to sustain this
a lifestyle change?
A lifestyle change. Now, I'm not saying that we won't be at the pub tomorrow and we won't get some sliders and some chicken wings, right? And wine or beer to go with it. But it's going to be in moderation. And I'll be checking my blood sugar to see where all that's going because I need to be aware and comprehensive of what's going on. if you deprive yourself, if you say, I am gonna eat sticks and leaves only and only canned tuna, so
Yeah,
I
things
could,
that you're not familiar with, things that
or things that
you
just
don't take a liking to.
right. You have to be eating stuff. If all you can,
It
if
has to
you
be some type of a pleasure
right,
to it, or you wouldn't eat, you know.
if you dread it, if you dread the food that you're gonna have to
Yeah.
eat, then you know what, you're gonna eat food that you don't dread. Um, our breakfast, I probably cook 4 or 5 times a week, and most of the breakfast I make is I make an omelet for Rach and I. And for the two of us, I use 2 whole eggs and probably about 3 servings of egg whites. Egg whites cuts down on the cholesterol, makes it healthier. I don't miss not having 4 eggs for the two of us,
Mhm.
2 eggs for me. No, the egg whites work out great. Uh, I use frozen peppers and onions. First, I fry them. I fry them up, and then either I have bacon crumbles or I have sausages, and then all that's going. Then I make the omelet, and I also usually have on this diet. Well, I either get low carb bagels, they're not cheap, or you find low carb bread. And we actually found low carb bread.
Ezekiel bread.
Well, yeah, Ezekiel, but we actually found at Walmart. Pepperidge, whatever.
Pepperidge Farm,
Pepperidge Farm
remembers.
they actually make a low carb bread. So you have these options that way, like, wow, I had toast with my eggs. You don't feel like you deprived yourself. Right? Once a week, we'll go out to this hot dog truck that's near us out in Queens.
Yeah.
One of the best hot dog places in the city, and we'll get hot dogs. And I'll eat the one hot dog completely, and then the second one I'll just eat enough bread that I could hold it as I'm eating it and throw out most of the bread because I don't want the extra carbs. But I leave that and I'm like, wow, I
My
treated
dog
myself.
refuses the bread.
Yeah,
It goes crazy on the
She knows well.
dachshund sausages.
Magic Spoon cereal. I have heard of it.
Mm.
It's on Amazon. We haven't
No.
tried it yet.
No.
What's the one that was at Walmart that we got? I forget the name of it right now.
It's chocolate.
Well, they have
Cocoa Puff.
Yeah, they have it in chocolate. They have it in cinnamon. They have another flavor.
Crunch is awesome.
That is cereal that will, if you're a cereal person,
it's a graham cracker cereal.
There's different flavors. There's a chocolate flavor. If you like Fruit Loops, they have a Fruit Loops type flavor.
Those are just alright for me. I love that.
Right. I like the honey graham and the cinnamon
things.
Schoolyard also makes ones. The cinnamon bun. I like to snack on the cinnamon bun one myself. Just I can put it in cereal, like with milk. But make sure that you have these options going into this, and this is what my wife did with the help of my sister when I was in a hospital. She got rid of all the effing candy and pasta, and
I just gave it all to her, like,
and
threw out stuff, that nobody was gonna eat.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then we restocked the pantry. So it wasn't like there's this attitude of, well, I have it in my pantry, I have to eat it, but I just won't refill it when no. Listen, I'm sure there are food pantries.
If you're that not willing to,
then you're not willing to commit.
Yeah, if you're that not willing to let it go, you're gonna buy it again.
Right. So there are options, and we make pancakes. I make pancakes probably 3 times a month, and again, these are pancakes with. You can get these mixes on Amazon. I think we also saw them at. Was it at Costco? Oh no, we saw it at Walmart, but we didn't need it anymore. You can get low carb pancake mixes.
Oh yes, I can't remember the name.
And with sugar-free syrup and butter, you can't tell the difference.
Not at all.
A Magic Spoon is high protein, low carb, 0 sugar, gluten, and grain free, non-GMHC keto breakfast cereal. Like I said, I've heard of it. I haven't gotten it yet. We've tried a lot of the different ones. So far, I would have to say that Catalina Crunch has been the most consistent across different flavors
Mm-hmm.
of being a cereal that makes you maybe let's think of your
Texture
childhood.
wise, it's really good.
It's got good flavor.
Yeah.
It's got good texture.
Yeah, and they're nostalgic too, like that Fruity Pebble one or Fruit Loop one.
A 4-pack is $4.99. I'm assuming those are single serves, but that's not bad. Again, uh, when you're shopping for when you are shopping for food,
Oh, and we
that
had
is
those really good.
which ones?
They came in little pouches,
Oh
and
God,
it
yeah.
had like a. It was very cinnamony, and I love cinnamon. And it was like a Cheerio, cinnamon Cheerios.
That's right.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was so good.
But here's the thing. When you're trying to buy food that is better for you, I can almost guarantee you it's going to cost more. All right. Now,
Just the nature of the beast.
Nature of the beast. We use konjac floured spaghetti and rice as our substitute for spaghetti. Now, does it taste like pasta? No, it doesn't really have much of a taste at all. But prepared with either a stir fry if I'm making an Asian dish, or if I make it with sausage and sauce, or with a chicken parm, it becomes the pasta substitute where pasta wasn't going to be the main focus anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't realize it. And again, pasta is cheap. The konjac can probably cost
Double the price.
Double the price of a good pasta. How about that?
Yeah.
It's not like when you're like, oh look, pasta's on sale at the A&P, and it's 3 boxes of Ranzoni or Barilla spaghetti for $1.20.
Prince.
You're not going to get those types of deals on it.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, when you're trying to eat healthy, you shouldn't get stuck on one single food or one single dish for dinner.
Oh yeah.
Breakfast is,
you're gonna get sick of it pretty
Right.
soon, and then be like, oh, what do I do now? Oh, this isn't sustainable.
no, as we get into
we try different things.
right, as we get into the colder months, we're going to go back to. I'm going to be doing some quicker cook steel cut oatmeal. So in other words, you can cook it in about 5 minutes. And people are going to be going, oh, but oatmeal is high in carbs. It certainly is. It's also got a very nice glycemic index.
And that's why you eat the steel cut.
If you get the steel cut, you can't have instant oatmeal. Instant oatmeal is dare I say it, it's shit. It's delicious shit. But
easy shit, but it's
cheap.
shit.
And it's cheap. Again, the options that you're going to have to opt for are different. Now, I'm going to say something that I've told Rach I want to do, but I haven't done it. I'll have to at one point. If you can get chicken breast, boneless chicken breast, or even boned, if you bone it, debone it for a good price. Get the chicken breast, cut it up into nuggets, I would say, or short strips, and then get a nice hot sauce like Frank's, and like a nice something that you would make wings with, and toss it, and then bake it in the oven, and freeze the leftovers in individual bags of, I don't know, 10 pieces. So it's like, oh, I'm in the mood to snack tonight. I did this at one point.
Yeah, it'd be a nice football thing.
Nice football. I was like, just throw it in the microwave, heat it up, and you got some really tasty, low carb, probably relatively low sodium compared to chips.
And the chili too.
You
used to make a chili.
I used to make chili last year.
Yeah.
You can also do chilies, and chilies you can freeze. Rach hasn't tried this one yet. I'm gonna have to do for you what I used to do years ago. I used to make burgers with chunks of cheddar in them, and green peppers and onions, and you just you cook them, nice size.
What is it? They're
about
it's
5
like
ounces
shreds of cheddar, and you
just put not shreds. You put like little chunks in it, so when you bite into it, you find a piece of cheddar.
Oh, and it's not small.
Not small. It's probably about the size of your thumbnail. But squared,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have these things ready to take out,
Mm-hmm.
not for a meal, for a snack. So you have healthier snack options. We have healthy snack options. We've found ones that are low carb, but then again, they're not
Mm-hmm.
cheap. But if you need to make your own, and you got room in your freezer, these are the ways you can do it. For lunch every day at work, I have a meal replacement shake because that definitely works. I have that in the past. Here, Rach, since you're taking your watch off, you might as well put mine on the charger. Mine's about to die. There's a lot of little tweaks that you can do, but if you're doing this stuff and you feel you are fiending, like I know I never get the idea that I'm fiending for something anymore. I used, oh my god, I need to go down to the corner store. I need to get myself Doritos.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
and I remember those feelings. I need to go down and get it and get a 6-pack of beer to go along with it. I remember those feelings. This beer that we bought tonight, we bought it yesterday for tonight. I haven't had beer in the house to drink probably in beginning of summer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have it at my local pub, but I won't keep it in the house. I'll keep wine in the house. I'll keep whiskey in the house, but I wasn't keeping beer in the house. I was keeping my hopped tea in the house. But we figured we'd give this a try, be fun.
And you can take it in moderation.
Right. I might leave this downstairs up here in the Poconos so they're here for the next time we come.
Oh, okay.
Don't have to take it home with us.
Yeah.
But again, if you jump into this without planning, you're going to set yourself up for likely failure.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's you made the point about sort of like cleaning out the closets, preparing yourself for change.
Yeah.
Might be that you set a change date. You might, set a date. Okay, as of this date, I'm going to be eating this way. And then in preparation of that, I have to clear these things out of my cabinets and bring these things in.
Right. And I'm going to stress one thing. And I kind of touched on it before, but I'm going to really stress this. Cheat days are bullshit. All they are going to do is screw you up. Now, I'm not saying
they mess with your sense of attachment to something,
right? And I'm not saying,
and the whole thing is like trying to rid yourself of those attachments.
Again,
and by engaging it once a week is
right.
Detrimental.
Now, I'm not saying, well, I'm going to a wedding reception and nothing on that menu I can safely eat. No, you go, you eat, you have a good time. But you make the healthier choices that you'll actually enjoy for the options that are there. Oh, well, I should be eating carbs, so let me go for the, I don't know, the pasta dish with the potatoes on the side. Again, why when it's like, oh, they have blackened fish? Go for the blackened fish. Listen, at our local pub, I when we order stuff, it's like I do like I'll call it a half cheat, right? I'll get like, yeah, listen, can I get the Philly cheesesteak? Now I come to fries. I go, instead of the fries, can I get a salad? Now, am I still getting carbs from the bread? And often I won't finish the bread, but yeah, I am. But I'm not eating those fries. I'm eating a salad. And that salad on top of that's going to slow my digestion down of the carbs I am intaking. There are ways to work with it, but I could go, oh, well, it's Friday. That's my cheat day. So let me just go down here. Let me have...
it's been a shit week.
It's been a shit week. I'm not going to have the light beer. Give me this Sam Adams Oktoberfest with the 22 grams of carbs per pint, and give me the potatoes with the extra potatoes. No,
right?
Again, having a set cheat day means that you don't take this serious. That you're not looking to change your life.
I don't know that whole attachment in your mind and in your spirit.
Because it's entitlement.
Yeah.
When you say I have a cheat day, it's like you're entitled to a cheat day. You're not entitled to a cheat day. It's an entitlement, and that's not good. This now again. You might say, "Wow, I'm on this trip, and I'm the only place to stop for food is McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't serve salads anymore. Those damn pieces of shit. I'm gonna have no. That's fine, but don't order a large fry. Okay, don't.
Just because it comes as a meal doesn't mean you have to succumb to that.
Right. Or just eat half the fries and give the half to somebody else or throw them out. You don't screw yourself over by saying I'm entitled to this. Say, all right. And at the same time, don't beat yourself silly in the end because you fell off the wagon. And it's like, oh well, now it's all screwed up. I'm just gonna eat like shit. I can't afford to do that, and maybe you can't. I certainly want to be around for years or decades, preferably decades from now, and be here to annoy my wife on a regular basis. I can't do that if I don't take the precautions now or do the legwork now to get to that point. I'm not perfect. I am far from perfect. All right, I am never going to be perfect on this healthier eating diet, but I'm hoping I come close enough to the target.
We're working toward it.
Right. There's a bullseye. I'm just trying to get on target, and maybe I have some weeks where I'm really close to the bullseye and others where I'm farther away from the bullseye, but hopefully they're all hitting the general target. Zachary, I'm going to try oatmeal for breakfast.
Nice.
I like to eat 2 servings of oatmeal with honey. I usually for Rach and I, when we make the steel cut, it's usually a serving and a half for each of us because I find the serving by itself just isn't quite enough. I might throw in some frozen berries. We have some frozen berries I gotta get rid of, so I might just throw some of them in there. I always put a little cinnamon on. Good cinnamon is always a great flavor.
Sometimes a little sweetener like stevia or Truvia, whatever it is.
Yeah, you just gotta, again, it's healthier choices, not necessarily. Oh, this is a great choice. It is to me, and maybe if you're good at it, you can graduate with honors. And graduating with honors just means that you live even longer.
Yeah.
All right. But you got to put some effort into it, and that's really what it comes down to. And if it's easier with somebody else, and that's why we do this weekly.
Yeah.
To let you know you're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone. And
you can do it as a community.
You can reach out to us, like I said, email or voicemail. Reach out to me on Facebook. I can be found on Facebook. I am happy to help you by being there. Okay, I can't change your lifestyles for you. I can't do that. But I can certainly be supportive and encouraging and tell you about my experiences, which is what we do, and tell you about Rachel's experiences. Yeah. So I think on that note, we are going to bid you adieu. Usually our witching hour is about an hour in. We're about an hour in. But again, this has been for us. We're up in the Poconos. This has been a huge reboot for me now. Has had been planned. We were going to be at Game Hole next week. We're not going to be at Game Hole next week. So we kind of needed this to reboot. Otherwise, Game Hole would have been our reboot. But again, thanks to everybody for the excellent comment. Yes, cheat days make your life a living hell. You know, again,
every other day fucking sucks.
Again, there's no shame in having a day where you went, oh my God, I can't believe I just did this. But don't go into going, well, I deserve to have this day. Go, all right, I screwed up. And now going forward, I'm going to have to.
Each meal is a new experience. It doesn't have to replicate the last one.
Right.
You always have the chance to make a different choice.
Joshua, thank you for joining us. It's good to see some people I've known for a while on Facebook pop in. But again, if you have questions, if you have topics that you want us to cover on Gamers Health, it's something that's important to you, whether it's my recipes or some insight into Rachel's yoga, if you have things about exercises for your mental and emotional health, not just physical health, You can leave a comment after the show and say, hey, I'd like to see this or that.
Yeah.
Email, call, whatever. We're happy to give you what you all want and need, because I can almost guarantee you what you all want and need is something that we also need and want. So,
or have been playing with,
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's all part of it.
Mhm.
Again, folks, we are in the midst of the world of COVID. I do this on every cast I do, so forgive me if you've heard it already. Please use your common sense to keep yourself, your family, your friends, your loved ones healthy and safe. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice. I will be back tomorrow with a regular cast. Next live stream will be Wednesday night, 8 p.m. with Bad Mike. Rach and I will be back next Saturday at 8 p.m.
Mhm.
And then in 2 weeks, the night before Halloween Eve, Eric in yoga pants. You've been warned. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.